Alright guys, so in this video I wanted to make an updated settings video because a lot has changed since the beta, and I don't want you guys to keep using my old beta settings that might not be the exact same as this one, being that they have things taken out. So I'm going to go through all my settings and explain why I use them and just talk a little bit about that. So my controller settings right here. First I have bumper jumper tactical flip. This is very important for being able to press multiple buttons at the same time while I'm doing movement and all that stuff without paddles, because I do not like paddles and I play on claw. So I'm able to jump with LT, ADS with LB, and shoot with RB. I actually play on PlayStation, but I have to use DS4 for some reason because my controller doesn't register without it. So I'm actually using L1, R2, and all that stuff. But pretty much when you use the bumpers instead of the triggers, it allows you to shoot a lot faster. Even with digital triggers, I still feel like it shoots a lot faster. So I use it for that. It just feels comfortable. Flip doesn't matter. Oh, you know, flipped is the thing that makes it go from bumper jumper tactical and then flipped. Though what I was gonna say that doesn't matter is the invert pitch, because I play inverted and I don't think it matters. Controller vibration off, so that doesn't affect you. Used to play with it on, but I took it off a long time ago. I play 6.6 sensitivity, ADS multiplier by 1, so I just kept it on 6.6 for a while, and I haven't seen like any drastic difference in my aim. I still feel like it's very consistent and good. So if you're around 6.6, I do think it's a very consistent sensitivity, and I've just been playing on it for a very long time. What else is important? Automatic tactical sprint. That's always important. Some people have been taking it off in this game, but I still think it's really good to have this on automatic tac sprint. So keep that on. Weapon mount activation. This did matter a lot in the in the beta, because that is actually how you slide cancel and stuff, but they have fully removed slide canceling from this game. So this it's probably better to have it on ADS melee so that you cannot mess it up. But I keep it on double tap. So double tap or ADS melee. ADS is not going to be good at all, because every time ADS around a corner, you're just going to keep mounting by accident. And then if you turn it off, then you're just not going to be able to mount. So I would just keep it on either double tap or the ADS plus mount. ADS plus melee. I have tapped reload for interact reload behavior. I think I would prioritize reload or tap to reload. One of these are really good because you want to be able to reload your gun instead of open a door by accident or do something else. So keep it like that, and then apply all would probably be for armor plate behavior, but you don't use that really until like Warzone. This is obviously on in default. Aim response curve I have on linear. A lot of people like to play dynamic. Linear is really good for direct or raw input, and that makes it even better for controlling raw recoil. So instead of using or relying too much on the aim assist, you actually have a little bit more control over the recoil, and allows you to actually look at people a lot faster. And then right here I have my ADS sensitivity transitioning time on instant. This is pretty much when do you want your 6.6 sensitivity to transition into the 1.00 ADS that I do have. So I like it instantly, because as soon as I press the button, I know that it's going to be slower. But some people like to try gradual and after zoom, but for my personal experience, I have been using instant and it has been working very well. So I have not changed it from instant right here. And I just keep this on 1. I keep it off in 1. I don't like to mess with the custom sensitivity per zoom, but if people want to try it out, you know, different stuff like that. Usually people, the higher that the zoom is, people like to go higher sensitivity, because you are going to have more aim assist when you're zooming in and looking far away. So higher aim assist or higher sensitivity is preferred, being that you can look really fast and still have great aim assist. So if you want to mess with this, just the higher you go, make sure you raise the sensitivity. But I just like to keep them all at 1, just because I don't like messing with it too much, and I don't really have trouble aiming at all when I'm shooting at far away or with scopes. Alright, so grounded mantle. I have grounded mantle on. I don't think this makes too much of a difference personally. I really don't, but I have these two on. Automatic ground mantle off, just because I don't want to automatically jump on the top of things while I'm in the middle of a gunfight. Okay, so the slide and dive behavior. This is interesting, because I talked about how I think sliding is a lot worse in this game compared to the other game. Dolphin diving is a lot better, and there's a lot of ways to use it where, you know, if you're running around, you want to like slide to the right and escape situations. It's so much faster and effective than sliding. See, the sliding is a lot slower. You don't get that like boost where you do when you're dolphin diving like that. So you want to make sure that you're dolphin diving a lot more than sliding. If you want to, you could make the dolphin diving this tab. You could, but I just feel like it's easier and more comfortable for me to hold and I don't feel that much of a delay where it's going to be like a hindrance to my performance. So I just keep it on hold just because it's comfortable. But whatever you feel like, slide or hold, that you should really prioritize the dolphin diving over your slide. Plunging underwater, I have this on movement. I'm not sure too much what this does. Look down and move forward to plunge underwater, or sprint and look down to plunge underwater. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you're comfortable with, you can test that out, but I just have it on movement. And then sprint door bash, I have this on because I love to bust through doors to be able to distract enemies or just run through a place really fast. So I do think that having this on is going to be very beneficial towards either faking where you're going to go or just running through a place really fast and then creating noise so that you can be able to flank around. So I like to have this on, but I don't really think you should turn it off at all. These are my other settings. I don't think these are that important, to be totally honest. See, those are my controller settings. Graphics, full screen borderless. I'm just gonna go through my graphics settings. I don't really like, some of them I don't really care too much about, and some of them for PC only. So if you play on console, it's a little bit different, little bit of a difference, being that you don't have these PC settings. So I'm just gonna kind of like go down and just show these. I'm not gonna really explain too much what they do. I know some of them, there's a lot of them on high. I could change it, but I usually think like that it doesn't really affect my gameplay. To just keep a lot of things on high, so I just leave it how it is. But if I do more research on that, maybe I'll turn some settings off. But I don't think it's that much of a difference to turn too much of these quality settings low or high, because I'm not having any other problem with it. Alright, so now depth of field, out of focus area blurred when disabled, on stimulus camera lens, out of focus region appears blurry. So pretty much when you have this off, you can see more around you and stuff. It doesn't blur out things, but when you have it on, it does blur things. So it's probably better to have it off. I do play with it on, but I think it is better to turn it off, and I'll probably play with it off. But sometimes I like to play, instead of playing like to get better, sometimes I play to make the experience more realistic and to kind of look, I guess just kind of look, or to have an aesthetic, to just make it look cool instead of actually being, you know, super perfect as far as my settings. So if you want to make it more of a realistic or cinematic look, you can have it on. But if you want the best experience as far as performance, then I would recommend you turn this off. Same thing with world motion blur and weapon motion blur. I like to turn world motion blur on and weapon motion blur off. I just think it creates more of a satisfying look for me. But if you do, again, want to have the best experience possible and focus solely on gameplay and being better at the game, then I advise you turn both of them off. And then filigrane, reducing it all the way down, is really going to help you out with that. Applaud. As far as field of view, so use 120 FOV. You can use lower FOVs to be able to get more aim assist and maybe see a little bit farther. But from my experience, I have really good aim off 120 FOV, and it is really good for close range situations. So I use 120 FOV, and of course, if you're a console player, you want to be able to use this because you haven't had it for so long in Warzone. So 120 FOV affected. I talked about this in my last video that I play narrow instead of wide now, because narrow, it just feels like you have a smaller gun, which means less recoil control. So I put it on wide, right? And I shoot. Let's shoot at that box over there. So that's me shooting. Now we go to the settings again, and we turn it to narrow. Still pretty shaky, but it didn't feel so zoomed in and so big. So narrow is just, it feels so much smaller, which I like because it's less visual recoil. So I have it on narrow. I like it that way. And then camera movement, you want to reduce it to the least possible so that you're not shaking your movement or anything, and it gives you more control over the situation. And then finally we have my audio settings. So I guess I play on home theater. They don't have boost low or boost high, so I just use home theater. It doesn't really affect me that much. Music volume all the way down, don't want any music interrupting my gameplay. Dialogue, I like to turn like halfway so the voices of people don't get my ear over other things. I still want it to be decently high, so if they call in like enemy UAVs, maybe someone's flying from the sky in Warzone, I want to be able to hear that but not be too important. And then I like to turn my voice chat volume down. I think I have it on, yeah, I have it on 60, because I want to be able to hear the game over the people in my party when I'm playing the game. So I have that turned down a little bit, and I do recommend you do that, because if somebody's screaming or eating food or something and it's just getting in your ear, it could really stop you from focusing on the game. So turn that down a little bit. And those are all my settings. So yeah, I hope this was very beneficial. You can try some of these out if you are uncomfortable with them and you think that they may help or may not help. You can try them out for yourself, and also let me know anything that you think I've missed or I could have done better in these settings. But those are my best settings that I have after the full version of Modern Warfare 2 was released. Under any video or live stream I should have my link tree available, so you guys could be able to check out all the other socials that I have right here, and then also my coaching services that I offer. And if you join the Discord below, you can be a part of our amazing community, and where we try to help others get better each and every day. And then there's just other people that you can go connect with and play with other great players if you are having trouble finding players on your own. So this is our Sense Community Discord, the main thing that I am most active on, and all my other socials are listed in this link tree.